was a Hindu battalion, they were all Hindus. And there were Muslim units, they were all Muslims.
Okay.
But there were some where both Hindus and Muslims were there together. But in those days, there was quite mutual wo nahi tha. There was no mutual dispute between the Hindus and Muslims.
Okay.
My Hindu class fellows used to come to my house because they liked my father.
Okay.
They said, we have never seen such a good personality.
Okay.
And they used to enjoy food with us and no problem.
Okay. So at the grass...
Those Hindus met me at Delhi railway station asking me, where the hell are you going? You come and stay with me. You will be safe.
So at the grassroots, there was no problem. But the Congress and Nehru...
The politics was limited to the politicians.
Okay.
The men in the street never bothered about it.
Okay. Now you came to Lucknow back with your sister and brother-in-law.
No, I did not come back. From her village we came to Ambala and there we were stranded. And from 27th of August till 18th of September, when it was announced that a train will go to Lahore, anyone who wants to go.
So you were at a railway station for about August to September.
Not railway station, at Ambala city.
Okay.
We had come to railway station, but we found that we could not travel to Lucknow. So we went and joined a family who was living there.
Okay.
A member of our own family. They welcomed us.
Okay.
And we lived peacefully with them.
So Ambala was still peaceful at that time?
Huh?
Ambala was still peaceful?
Well, peaceful, but the police were going round and round. You know, the police trucks were going round and round. But the life in the city was normal.
Okay.
When you could go to bazaar and buy things and come back. But mostly the Muslims kept inside their... They came out only when it was unavoidable.
Why was this fear?
Well, it was just because of the circumstances. And because there was news coming in of killing around in the villages and things.
So
on 18th of September evening, when we arrived at the railway station, we found that the train was made up of goods wagons. And they were open wagons which used to carry coal.
Okay.
They were coal carrying wagons with no top at all.
Okay.
And we boarded the train and there was about a foot thick of coal dust that had settled down there permanently.
Okay.
So we were sitting there. So when the train left Ambala station just before sunset, so, and as it moved, it started crawling. It never gained any speed. It just crawling. And when the train got out of the town, we saw that lots of young Sikhs and Hindus, they were running on either side of the train. And the train speed was, it appeared that the train is going to stop any moment and we will be killed here. So they were running with the swords and guns and spears of all sorts of weapons. They were running, waiting that the train would stop and they would attack. So we talked to our women folk and we told them that if the train stops and we are attacked, we are going to kill you. And they said yes. So we had some knives and things ready.
Oh.
Yes. But the train kept crawling and till such time that those people got tired. They could not continue and it was dark. The sun had set and it was dark. So after about half an hour, this activity came to an end. The train kept moving. And it then arrived at Ludhiana, did not stop. Then it came to Jalandhar. The train was there. It stopped for about 5 minutes. The station was giving a forlorn look. There was not many people around. Then it came to a stop at a station known as Beas. The Beas is known because of the Beas river. The station was located just by the side of the river bank. It came to a stop at about 2 a.m. And the train was provided by a guard by Gorkha regiment. the Gorkha regiment, I think a platoon was there. So after every 8 or 10 wagons, there was a wagon where army personnel were riding. After every 6 or 7 wagons, there was a wagon carrying army personnel. And that platoon was commanded by a British captain. So it came to a stop at about 2 a.m. at the station. After about half an hour, we were informed that the engine has detached itself and gone away.
Oh.
But this thing became an advantage because lots of people got down of the train. It was all dark, and especially women. Although they relieved themselves of the call of nature and things, and many people were carrying some sort of, food stuff. They started collecting
Firewood.
pieces of firewood, and they boiled some tea and things like that. And the British captain was was telling the station staff to get the engine back from Amritsar. Amritsar was about 30 miles from there. But before the sunrise, everybody was back in the train. And at the sunrise, people started surrounding all the stations. Thousands of Sikhs and Hindus. There was an overbridge. The train was standing below with no cover, and the overbridge was also occupied by these people, Hindus and Sikhs, carrying guns and things like that. The British captain was very active. He made an announcement that either you move out from here or I am going to open fire. And many people will be killed. And he also threw out the station staff. He took charge of the railway station and he communicated with Amritsar, where also some British officers were there. So an engine came at 2 p.m. So we were stranded there for 12 hours. At night it was very cold. It was the third week of September. Third week of September. But as the sun came up, it became equally hot, and those steel wagons, either they were very cold or they were very hot. Anyway, at about 2 p.m. the engine came, and he posted a guard there telling the driver, if you play any game, we'll shoot to kill you. And we have people who can take charge of the train. So the train started at 2 p.m. It arrived at Amritsar at about 4, kept standing there for about an hour. Then again, it started for Lahore, which was 30 miles only. But after railway, leaving Amritsar station, if you travel by train towards Lahore, the railway line runs through a cutting.
Okay.
Higher banks on either side, and the train is at a lower level.
Okay.
So we saw that on the higher banks, people were lying up with their rifles and things. But thank God, not a pebble was thrown on the train when we arrived in Lahore. When the train arrived at Mughalpura, there was a big welcome given. Pakistan Zindabad, and huge, all sorts of food was being cooked. So we all got down there and had our food to our fill. And that was 19th of September, my 22nd birthday, 1947. Well, not knowing anybody or not knowing the place, we spread our beddings in the railway yard, and there was no shortage of food. We had our complete food. And
what was your feeling at that time when you arrived at Lahore and you saw this welcome?
Well, the first feeling was that there was a feeling of happiness that after all Pakistan has come into being and we will all be living as Muslims. Our rulers will be Muslims and we living according to Islamic laws. And everybody was shouting, Pakistan ka matlab kya? La ilaha illallah, la ilaha illallah.
Okay.
So soon after we had spread our weddings in the